So this is my MileStone2 update. For with this asset, I changed a number of different things. From looking at what I had on last week's assignment, I wanted to make changes as far as defining his neck more so. There's a lot of great feedback that I've received on that. I'm definitely defining where parts of his neck were coming from, and then putting in his traps. I wanted to over-exaggerate his traps. From here, I wanted to actually get more muscle under the skin. Now, this character is going to have exoskeleton plating, but what I wanted to do is show a little bit more of the muscle buildup, at least underneath. And I'll decide on how to actually incorporate the exoskeleton from there. But still having that foundation, because when I do add the exoskeleton, it's going to be based off the guidelines of what his muscle structure is. So definitely going in more so adding definition for his lats, his collarbone. From this time around, I wanted to show a little bit more of the character's demeanor as far as standing upright. I had it a little bit more hunched over before I had it protruding out this way. But I think the character has a little bit more definition frontal, face forward in this aspect. From here, I wanted to define more of what was happening around the eyes. I'm playing around with the skull structure. I'm definitely defining more of where his skull outline, his jawline should be. And then with the neck muscles that are going in behind the skull, behind the head part. And trying to break up the line structure so it's not so repetitive. Looking at it at this point, it shows somewhat of the same line structure here, but what's changed is around this back portion is drawn back at more sort of an angle. I wanted to show a little bit more of what was happening with the eyes, as far as the eye sockets, how it's going to be pocketed in, and how there should be more weight of what the eye actually is, which is covered around this bottom portion. Also with the additional eyes on the top, I wanted to rearrange those to be part of the forehead structure of the skull. I wanted to play around with the line work more so. I took the time to shrink or lessen the exaggeration of the fangs. With looking at references, the fangs, they're going to protrude out. Normally when he's in attack mode, or if they're feeding tarantulas, their fangs pop out and they protrude from there. I just wanted to show a little bit more so of what the fangs would be, so it would be just an added element in his face. So mainly when the mouth is opening of a tarantula is when you'll see the fangs. But just for aesthetics, I wanted to add that into this portion. From here, I want to definitely take time to work more so on the line and quality work of the asset. I'm looking in here, I could definitely try and smooth some of this out. I've looked at a lot of other references on ZBrush, and it just seems to have more of a quality finished look. Mine still looks a little bit rough around the edges. It may be the amount of geometry that I have in. I didn't take time to build up my active points. I wanted to keep it low, so I didn't add anything else to it. And I didn't want to dynamesh it anymore unless that's what's called for. But what I wanted to do is try and do as much as I could do with the limits of maintaining the same count as far as my poly counts. The biggest thing that I'm learning on this week is to definitely take my time. Take my time and develop more so realistic aspects to an imaginary character. So what I mean by that is that I wanted to add as many realistic elements as I can, and then take time to exaggerate those points. Because in the neck structure, we are going to have the jawline, we're going to have the muscles come down that meet before the chest area actually opens up. Now remember, this character is going to be a really large and massive character, and so the trap muscles, exaggerating that. I'll also have room for the added muscles below the traps. So this is the back portion of the traps, and then we'll give way to the shoulder muscles. So it's going to be a very broad character. From here, I want to just further develop where these horns are protruding from his cheek. I want to continue working on that. I want to make sure that it doesn't look like an elephant, more or less. Like I don't want it to configure as trunks. Not trunks, but tusks. But I wanted to give a horn element. So I want to definitely play around with these and try and further develop that. And as far as the facial structure, I want to keep adding in elements to redefine exactly what the structure is doing. I took time to add in some portions of the skull. Not quite horns, but I want it to be sort of lumpy to give it the element of it being very hard and bony, just to give a different element so it wasn't just slick and smooth. The same as his spinal cord. So these are going to just basically be exaggerated bumps in his spine. Mainly because the back muscles give the more of the element between the spine. So this, another part of the armament is very hard and coarse around these edges. And then the exoskeleton will be more so split along this side and cover the meaty part. And I wanted to try and give an element of more bone structure leading up to his head. He's not going to have any type of exoskeleton portions on his skull. I want his skull and his face to be more or less a built-in factor, because what I wanted to do is sort of like Alien, how the facial structure sort of opened up, and that shows where his actual mouth is. I wanted to relay that information that way, and have more of the protective element added to the muscle structure later. But of course, I really value the information I've been given, the guidance, and some of the suggestions on how to make my character better. I look forward to hearing what you have to say for it this week. All right, thank you very much.